because I was a solo Salesforce admin for 8 years. So do we have any solo Salesforce admins out there?
Oh, you stole
Holy
my
cow, look at
question.
Madeline. Look at what you have for an audience. All right. You know what? It is your time to shine, girl. So
Amazing.
I'm going to turn this over to you. Everybody, round of applause for Madeline.
Woo-hoo. Amazing. So yeah, Aussie number 2. Very excited. Thank you all for being here today. I'm so excited to be talking at Dreamforce today. This is my first time talking on this admin theater stage, so awesome to have you here. All right, so I'm sure you guys have all seen this slide. You've seen it for everything. You know what it means. You know, make your purchasing decisions on current tech. So I'm not going to be talking about tech, so you don't have to worry about that. And thank you for everyone being here. It's so good to have everyone together. I've traveled halfway across the other side of the world to be here, and I'm sure you've all traveled from all around. So I'm super excited to meet every person that I'm meeting while I'm at Dreamforce. All right, so my name is Madeline Cotonso. I am the head of enablement and APAC at Zinct. I've been a Salesforce admin for 7+ years, and I've absolutely loved every minute of being on the ecosystem. First of all, solo admins rock, and Mike totally stole my question. How many solo admins are here? So I'm just going to breeze past that, but we absolutely rock. Being a solo admin or anyone of a small Salesforce team, I'm really excited to be presenting this because there's not a lot of content for us small solo admins. A lot about product, a lot about these massive teams that run these huge Salesforce orgs. But what about the little guy? What about the person doing every single piece of admin and work on the org, training, support, everything? There's got to be something for you guys. So today I'm going to be talking about the advantages of being a solo admin, the challenges of being a solo admin, and then from my experience, the solution to those challenges. So I hope that you guys can take away something, at least one thing from my talk today about how to make your job that little bit easier so that you can breeze through your work a lot faster and be more efficient, because we all love efficiency, right? Okay, so advantages. Firstly, ownership and accountability. Our Salesforce org is our baby. We are responsible fully for our Salesforce instance. That means we're totally and deeply invested in everything that we do in our org. It is essentially our child, which means that we have in-depth knowledge and we're familiar with our org's processes, data, and workflows. And if you're not, you should be, which means that we're way more effective at problem solving, and those solutions that we create are really tailored to our org's needs. Which means that we also then have a holistic view of our full Salesforce ecosystem. Better alignment, and it really avoids those siloed approaches towards the different aspects of our org. It also means that we are really efficient at decision making. We have streamlined decisions. We don't have multiple tiers of really big Salesforce teams that we have to work through. Not a lot of stakeholders. We can literally go to our managers or whoever we're dealing with in the business and get those approvals and get those decisions made really, really fast, which means that we can quickly implement changes and get through those project decisions a lot faster. Also means that we're agile and flexible, so we can move from task to task super fast and pivot quickly as well. So if something big comes up that we need to really refocus and change our projects, we can do that quickly and we can switch that focus easily. Also, direct user interaction. If you're a solo admin, you know your users. You know your super users, you know who they are, you know them by name, and you're directly interacting with them all the time. Which means that you really give really good tailored user support. And it also means that you give great and effective training. But yeah, being on your own is tough. And that's okay. And these are the challenges that I've identified as well as being a solo admin. Workload management. So you've got a really large array of responsibilities. It can be really overwhelming at times, especially when you've got lots of projects and you've got a lot of support stuff coming in, trying to actually manage all of that workload at once. Also, you're only one person. You're limited in resources. You cannot clone yourself as much as you hope, and you've only got an X amount of hours, or not X amount, you've got 24 hours in a day, and hopefully you can have some rest there too. So you literally are limited with what you can do, which does mean that it does hinder those large-scale implementations. expertise gaps. Salesforce is massive and is an ever-changing beast, right? It's constantly changing. Trying to get through those 400 pages of release notes, impossible, and you're not going to be expected to know it all. So that does mean that you are a little limited with you being able to leverage all of those features for your org. Lack of collaboration. You don't have that person next to you or on a Teams chat or in a Hangouts chat that you can just quickly Slack huddle that is actually in your team. So that means you're kind of missing a little bit of diverse perspective. It also means that you're limited with your problem solving. I do like to talk to myself or just, talk to my dogs to try and get a perspective. Seeing it out loud does help. And also you are a single point of failure. This is not nice. So if you're away or you're unwell or anything like that, or God forbid you take a holiday, Salesforce operations can be severely impacted. Support challenges as well. So timely and comprehensive support can be really challenging. When there is a complex issues or a high demand for support, it means that you're literally one person. Trying to get through them all can be challenging. And then because of all of the stuff that I just talked about before, there is burnout and stress. And everything can really take its toll trying to balance it all. But we've totally got this. I know you do. So for each of those challenges, I'm just going to go through what I think and hopefully help you get through them. So for workload management, manage your time effectively. If you can, I really suggest getting some sort of project management tool to manage your tasks. I don't think it has to be inside Salesforce. Whatever works for you, whatever's fast and easy to get it all in one place so that you know exactly what you're working on. Oh, shit, sorry. Funnel your communications. So we all get emails, Slack, Hangouts, or Google Chat, or whatever it's called now, Teams, people tapping on the shoulder, which is the worst. Everyone communicates with you in so many different ways. So funnel your communications in a specific way that works for you. So if there's certain types of things, if anything's urgent, chat me. If anything's not so urgent, submit a case. Whatever it is, funnel that communication and be firm about it. Be firm about it. Push back if they don't do the right thing. Also, super users and managers, if you don't do this, it is a really great way to make sure that other people funnel your communications for you. So let's say your quoting tool has an electronic signature and it's down. You don't want 30 reps contacting you all at the same time. So have super users or managers manage that, and then you're dealing with one person, essentially. It's really helpful. User support challenges. So if it makes sense for your org, and only if it makes sense for your org, build a case process. You know how to build that and manage your requests and any issues through cases. It also means that because you've got the power of the platform, you can really create request guidelines and use some sort of screen flow for that. Ask the questions that you want to hear. You're not just getting these requests by email or a case with random information that doesn't have everything that you need in it, because let's face it, users like to give us the least amount of information as possible. So ask them to fill in the questions that you need and manage the expectations of when you're going to deliver that kind of support. So I'm sure as a business, if you guys already have a support or some sort of service system, you have SLAs. It's not any different for you. You are a support system. So make sure that they know when you're going to be contacted. Also, something that I've never actually done before, but I've heard about is a really great idea, is having some sort of office hours. So have a half hour, an hour that you block out fortnightly, once a month, that your users can come in anytime and have conversations with you, ask you questions, have small training session, and have that available to them so that they know that they can sort of wait and ask those questions then in a setting where everyone is there and collaborating together. Limited resources, so know your limits. Set realistic goals, because I'm a yes person. I don't know about you. I like to say yes to everything. I wish that I could do everything, but I know that I don't necessarily have all the time. So I do get bogged down in a lot of tasks that I wish I could do, but I don't necessarily actually have the time to do it. So make sure you set realistic goals with yourself, and make sure your managers as well have those goals and expectations. Because guess what? If you say yes to everything, and then you rush and hurry and get it all done, guess what? You're going to get more. They're just going to keep piling on that work. So make sure you set the realistic expectations. And really, really important, have a backup for urgent tasks. Setting up users, terminating users, whatever it is, freezing users, contacting Salesforce support. If you are not around, make sure that someone else can do this for you. It doesn't have to be absolutely everything, just those main things that are really a timely manner. Expertise gaps. So just ask. So ask Google. I think in the last 7 years, I've had a couple of training sessions with partners and things like that, but I've learned absolutely everything from asking Google and gone to the community. I can guarantee you, if you have a question in your mind and you don't know what you're doing, someone has asked the question before. The ecosystem is massive. So get really good with your Google search terms. Get really good at asking Google the right questions and the terminology, and I assure you, you will find the answer. And then, I don't know, but I think this conference is about AI, but yeah, there's this thing called ChatGPT, and I'm not putting it up here because, this is the theme, but I'm putting it up here because I've just recently been using this as an admin to save me time. So I don't know about you, but email templates, writing content, you've got to write a bunch of notifications and you're like, I cannot even think of what content to put in there. Ask ChatGPT to write you an email template. It's a great starting point, and then just input the data that you need. Another one is you might have an org, there was an admin before you that wrote these horrible, complex, disgusting formulas, and their syntax is awful, and you're like, I don't have 20 minutes to try and figure out what this maze is. Post it in ChatGPT. It's going to ask it to explain to you in plain English what this does. Time saver. Also, you are writing a complex formula, and you're missing a freaking bracket or a comma, and you don't have time to figure out your syntax issue. Paste it in ChatGPT. It'll fix your syntax for you. Test it. Ask for help, of course, as well. You're not expected to know it all. So if your business has the capability for it, ask for outside help and hire resources to help you with certain things that you do not know. And this sort of leads me into that lack of collaboration. The Salesforce community is massive, as I talked before. Join local community groups. And if you don't have anything local, which I really doubt it, find stuff online. COVID has made us a virtual world, so anything is available. And community groups around the world are happy to have you on their virtual sessions. So, and Trailblazer groups as well as Ahana Slack. If you can get access to that, everyone is out there to ask and answer questions. The thing that I love about this community is that everyone wants everyone to succeed. And it is a community of lifting each other up and pushing each other forward. And the great thing is if you're an introvert and you don't want to go in person or go up to people, we have all this amazing technology that allows us to do this virtually. Single point of failure. Nobody likes to be called a spoff. Have you guys been called a spoff before? Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Don't let it be you. So this is a big one, and I have to take my own advice here, but documentation inside and outside your org. So whether you have the ability, if you can't and you don't have time to do it outside your org, definitely inside. Those description fields, yeah, they're really, really useful, not just for the next person trying to figure out what you've done, but for yourself. So that you can go, oh, yep, this is why I created this field. I need it for this flow, or I need it for this process. And the description fields in your flows, when you create your versions of your flows, create what you've changed in your version. Make sure that you your naming conventions are good. This is one thing that I'm really a stickler about, is I create a lot of flows. Naming conventions are important, and have a similar convention that you use across your org so that it's really easy to identify what you've done. But yeah, outside of your org as well, if you can. Don't be like me, that my last job, scramble at the last minute, I'm leaving. Oh my gosh, I have to document 6 years worth of admin work. It is not fun. Document as you go, process flows, documentation, videos if that helps as well, just for, those simple tasks or those admin tasks. It's important. I know we probably do a lot of documentation for our users, but we need to do it for our org as well. And again, like I said before, back up for urgent tasks. And because of all of that stuff before, like I mentioned, burnout and stress, trust me, it's gonna happen. I mean, we're on our own, and it is tough, it is hard. So make sure that you estimate things effectively. Pad out time for those small tasks or the support stuff that's going to happen in between. You've got your large projects. Make sure that you've blotted out that extra time that you can deal with, managing yourself as well as those smaller tasks. And you really do deserve a break too. Being a solo admin doesn't mean that you can't take a vacation. You need to make sure that you are available to do that. So that, if you're like me and, you work for a global company, you feel like you're on your phone 24/7, make sure that you take the time and you set yourself boundaries that you can actually switch off. I don't know, I'm constantly getting notifications. There is a really cool thing probably on your phones and your watches that allows you to totally do not disturb at certain hours. Use that if you can. And, let your users know that this is something that you've set up and that you are unavailable during these times. But, if it's urgent, it's urgent. You've got to get onto it. But I'm talking like can't get into Salesforce urgent, right? That you can actually come online for that. So set yourself some boundaries and really stick to them so that you don't burn yourself out. Okay. Oh, I talk too fast. It really didn't account for me talking too fast. I was like, I got to get this through in 20 minutes. They're going to shut me off if I don't. Every time I say it is over 20 minutes, but clearly I've talked faster because, nerves. But yeah, don't miss this networking session. So there's one other thing here at Dreamforce about solo admins. It's called Unite with Solo Admins. It's tomorrow. It's at 11:40. It's in the Community Cove networking session, so make sure you go. And of course, if you enjoyed today's session with me, please, and your friends couldn't make it, I'm actually on again tomorrow at 3:30, so please let them know. And if you do a survey, I win prizes, and we all win. So do a survey, yay! Thank you everyone for being here today. I'm really, really excited to be here, and so happy to be speaking to you all. That's it. I'm 2 minutes early, so we can, if any questions, come up to me, raise your hand, whatever you want. Awesome.
Thank you for watching. We would love to get your opinion on this content, so please leave us some feedback on the comments section below. If you did like this content, give that like button a tap. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the Salesforce Admins YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about being a Salesforce admin in general, head on over to admin.salesforce.com. Thanks again.